Welcome back to Bridgeburner412 Plays Bloodborne. So in our last episode, we defeated the amygdala after much travail and pain and woe. Now we are ready to proceed to a rather difficult area. So you just want to double check and make sure in your key portion you have the Cainhurst summons. Our next little adventure is going to be in Castle Cainhurst. So once again, if you don't remember where we got that, we picked that up from Yosefka's clinic, which we went around the backside and in the first floor sick room up at the top, we went and killed her for the umbilical cord and picked up the Cainhurst summons as we did so. So now we are ready to go to Cainhurst, and my favorite cutscene in the game is coming up. So you'll come to the witch's abode, because if you look at the description of Castle Cainhurst, hit display, an old bloodstained summons inviting an honored guest to forsaken Castle Cainhurst. Rather bafflingly, it is addressed to you. Do not hesitate, the stagecoach leaves from Hemwick Crossing. So, Hemwick Crossing is basically where that obelisk, that ruined obelisk was, when we were making our way to the very annoying witches of Hemwick. And there were a couple of big tinies there. So, you'll go to where we beat the witches in the witch's abode. And rather than going down there where we got the rune workshop tool, we are going to head back the direction that we came. And you can dispatch these guys if you wish. Still hitting hard with their nonsense. Tempering gemstone. Much rather have vials, but what are you going to do? We're doing okay on vials, but still, you can never have too many. You don't have to kill this guy. I do, because otherwise he comes and he's going to ruin your day. The obelisk that I was talking about is right there. I don't know if that qualifies as an obelisk, but it's there. Tiny's decided to get a little bit frightened. Don't be frightened. Please don't be frightened. Come and get wrecked. There you go. Yeah. Now it's your turn to hang in a tree. There's another one wandering here, but he pathed up there, so that's okay. All you have to do is come close to it, and it will go to the cutscene. You know you don't have the summons if you run close to this and the cutscene doesn't begin. And there will be an option that you have to select if you want to get onto the carriage. Quite mysterious. There's nothing to worry about here, right? Nothing sinister. So that's why I killed the guy, because he could come back and hit you in that one transition there. A creepy little something watching you from the tree. This is sort of a bookended area. Getting to the castle and getting the stuff is difficult, and then the boss, Martyr Ligarius fight, is very difficult. And there's a bunch of mayhem in between. Isn't that great? I here we are. And if you wanted to go back, too bad. The horses are dead. But there's a lamp right up here, so nothing to worry about. And that will just open up for you to come and get murdered. Click the lamp. We will probably go through a good 20 vials in this area, clearing out the enemies, because they are quite hard hitting. So of course they want you to come and grab this, and this thing sneaks up behind you. They're very fast. You wouldn't think so, but oops, I think I got the other one in by accident. You definitely don't want to. You got to. Problem is backing up. You end up backing up into statues. So if we die here, it's okay. See how fast they are. Trying to rally it back. Okay. And you don't really want to get behind them, because their legs will strike backward as well. So you want to try to stay to the side of them if possible. Numbing Mist is fairly useless at this point in the game, unless you're doing a lot of PvP. Numbing Mist prevents enemies from being able to heal during the fight. So if you want to prevent your enemy from healing, hit them with a Numbing Mist and then go to town. Okay, so we want to try to pull this guy. Oops, that was one-handed. I was so upset with myself I slammed my blade into the ground. That's actually the transition attack. If you're attacking, the weapons also have a transition attack. Blood-tinged gemstone. That reminds me, this area is, if you are wanting to do a blood-tinge build, this is your place, because you'll get a lot of blood-tinge items. Blood tinges like guns, primarily. You get some good gun weapons here. The Evelyn, which is considered by people who run gun builds to be the best gun in the game. I don't really like fighting this guy here, because there's a lot of places you can get trapped up against. There's a lot of little nooks and crannies, like you can get trapped against these things. Cainhurst is supposed to be like an area where the people are very pretentious. They've made lots of statues to themselves and their families, and they have just so many of them that they're just discarded all over the place. Of course, it is the forsaken Cainhurst Castle. So as a result, it is, all abandoned, but it's kind of a neat story element. It is overrun by ghosts. So you would think you would get that guy first. Don't go over and try to grab this guy, because the other guy will come out. This is a little bit tricky because you want to make sure you have room to back up. So if you can just get on the side, use your whirligig, and stagger him. Your whirligig is your friend here. If you're coming through, sometimes if you're coming through with a different weapon that doesn't stagger them, as a result, you end up just getting hit by all of their fast attacks. But the whirligig is, it's doing good work for us. I'm not sure you can sneak up on him, but I'm going to try. Now this big fat guy back here, he is so engorged with blood that he is just drunk on it, and you can just mow him down. Use your L2 and just grind him with that chainsaw blade. Okay, but that's not the area where you end up using all of your vials. That is fairly straightforward. It's going down here because there's a gemstone that we're going to want down there. But there are some spider guys, or ticks, or whatever you want to call them, on the rocks. I want to say there's 3. And the problem is that if you were to drop down over here, there's no maneuvering room really. So let's see, there's 1, 2, and I think there's another one over on this side if I'm not forgetting. So usually I'll come and I'll drop down here, and I'll just kind of move this way. You could run down there because the thing that we want is all the way back in the corner, but there are snakes, and the snakes hit really, really hard. 4 snakes, and they ow. And I don't want them involved. See, one snake jumped after me there, so I'm just going to run back to the lamp. You know, they'll follow. Use that L2 if you get on the side of them. Okay, there's one more. The worst thing is to be getting, stun locked by the snakes and then have one of these ticks drop on your head and ruin your day. I'm going to try to fight this guy up here. I might regret it. I'm already regretting it. And it seems like, I'm not sure if this is true or not, I've never tested it, but it seems like the less blood they have in their pouch, the harder they are to kill. But that's those guys taken care of. So here are the snake things. They're very, very jumpy. And notorious for being missed by the gun. And there's only about 1,000 of them. So we're going to go up here and get the item on the other side of the shortcut door. Eventually this is going to be our shortcut. But we have to, of course, come from the other side. That's the thing we want down there. And it's very tempting to just jump down there. But you're going to have a whole bunch of snakes jump on you. So, it can be tricky. It's just time consuming to try to go this way and take the snakes out one by one. You'll notice I've switched to my one-hand mode. They come out of the rocks and everything. For speed. So you see that was a great example of the annoyance of the snake worms. So we'll let him inchworm his way over here. See if this will work. The key to that is making sure that I'm going to get the release before they jump on me. And you'll actually hit the thing. think there's more that are going to jump out from the rocks there. Is that one dead? I guess that one's dead. So just more of an annoyance than anything else. It's really super annoying. So we got a couple there. I think a couple more jump out from over here. Oh, I guess not. Oh, there it is. So what do we got? 3 more? It doesn't help if you whiff. So you see, if you're impatient and fighting on the uphill side, I don't know if I've mentioned this in the walkthrough yet, but Miyazaki games are notorious for reversing strategic expectations. Is this guy dead? I guess he is. Because we wanted that Temper and Blood Gemstone 3. Because that's going to give us quite a boost. To our gemstone, Temper and Blood Gemstone 3. So our physical attack will go up 9.5. So that's a pretty good one at this point in the game. You noticed also it had a near death mechanic. Okay, so that is this area sorted. So we got all the stuff here. So I would suggest going back, spending, upgrading, doing whatever. We're going to get some chunks in this area to upgrade our weapon as well. And I like to go into Martyr Ligarius with 35 at least in vitality, because it can be a tough fight. It can be a pretty tough fight. Repair. And see about, see if we got anything to upgrade our stuff. So, this one's only 5.3. This one is, oh, this one's 5.3, so we can go ahead and take that one up all the way to 163. Hit this one, and as always, just go through all of your gems to make sure that there's not something better you could be using. Now we're going to go visit. We're going to visit the doll and up.
Welcome home, good hunter.
Upgrade a character. Again, this needs out of the room.
What is it you desire?
I desire levels.
Let the echoes become yours. Let me.
Okay. Oh, I forgot to use my packets. So we'll get close. We'll get to 35 here.
Farewell, good hunter.
Not with this one, but before we face. Oh hush! Before we face the boss. Okay. So that'll get us another level.
Very well.
So I'll get vitality up to 35. I'll try to get endurance up to 30. And then just kind of bounce back between strength and endurance. That is the plan.
Farewell.
Okay. So we can just return to... where is it? Wrong click. Forsaken Castle Cainhurst. Now, of course, all of the ticks will be back. They give like 3,000, so it's a pretty good place to farm if you need levels. I've played this level where you know, I'll have a whole bunch of echoes and I'll die up there, and not in the boss fight, but before the boss fight, I'll die, and I'll be so bitter that I'll just come back and I'll farm the ticks to get those back. Get those echoes back. Okay, this will open by itself. Go away, tick. Okay, now get your earplugs out, because there's going to be a lot of screaming in here. There's a lot of invisible witches that are going to be crying and screaming. And you got the cleaner guys. That chainsaw just spits them out. So you know, you'll see stuff. You can hear the crying. And basically they appear and stab you with daggers. So, yeah. You'll see them begin to appear. Usually around items. I used to think there was one here. Is there not one there? There it is! So, get off. Get off a biggin. Get off a biggin. But you can get surrounded if you're not careful. Just keep your dodge going. Use your rally. I think each one is worth like 500. You don't have to kill them all. They're easy enough though. So again, you're wanting levels. As we discovered in our amygdala fight, you know, we've been proceeding quite smoothly throughout the game, and as a result, haven't needed or haven't farmed echoes in any of the areas. So, the recommended level for Ligarius is 75. So we're a few levels under that. You don't need to be level 75. I beat him at 60. It was hard, but it is possible. I hear her tiptoeing around. She might be up above though. So here you will get the Reiter Palash, which is kind of a gun spear weapon. It goes in your right hand and combines an elegant knight's sword with the peculiar firearm wielded by the Cainhurst order. The old nobles, long-time imbibers of blood, but no strangers to the sanguine plague. So it has a gun built into it. I have never used it. It's kind of one of those weapons that you can do a whole build around, but if you're not, then it's not as useful. Like people will use that in their right-hand slot, and then in their left-hand slot use a regular gun. Just be totally gunslinger sort of build. So you see, they kind of can appear, and you can get surrounded if you're not careful. But our wide horizontal swing is really doing the number on them. The reason I've never done a gun build is because it's so annoying to farm for vials that I can't even imagine having to farm for bullets. And it's not like the bullets are cheap at the well or at the fountain. Chunky, chunky, chunky. What are we looking at in terms of chunks? We got one. Okay, and I think we're at the level of 5. I think we need to get 5 and then 8, so we need 13 chunks to get this up to +9. We'll get some chunks here. I don't think we're going to get 13. Rosie have made an entrance into the room, looking over my court, which is slightly annoying me. Hi, you should be working cleaning the floor. So I'm just going to spin you right out of my chainsaw. Okay, okie dokie artichoke. So we're going to come, this is the path of progression. So we came in there. Now, of course, by this point in the game, you should recognize a trap when you see one. Problem is when you get 3 or 4 of them surrounding you, swing with your dagger. That's where the bad times begin. They do enjoy their local ululations. I imagine I am the first YouTuber to use the word ululations for Bloodborne. Which is what you've come to expect from Bridgeford 412, a level of quality and intellectual excellence that makes our ride through the mayhem of Yarnum and environs so enjoyable. Okay, and here will be an item that we will promptly sell. The noble dress. Okay, that's all that's in here. Oh, what color's lady too? Hi. Go back to your forgotten realm. Okay, so now we will be jumped on by a baddie, I think. Maybe I'm misremembering. I think I am. I'm misremembering. Okay, so there is a dude right there. There's also a dude up there. These are the gargoyle beasts. You can come around and, go this way. I usually just... Well, I usually hit a lot faster than that. So that doesn't happen. That's really their only attack. Give them enough time, they will flop onto their back. And kind of become like a little turtle. You hear him flying? So that guy flies down over there. We're not ready to execute him just yet, because there's a chunk up here that we want. Hi! Goodbye! So he'll be waiting for us down at the bottom. Now, FYI, it is possible to fall off all of these rooftops, so be aware. Oops, I missed. I thought he was going to do the old jump on me, so that's... See, then they fall on their back, they're done. Twin blood shards. Take a look at the view. Why not? Take a look at the view. This is probably, we're coming on 30 minutes, so this is probably a good place to stop this episode. Take a look at the view, and we will pick up here when we come back in our next episode. So thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time as we continue our 100% walkthrough of Bloodborne.